I want to say two words to you, and I want you to notice your reaction when I say them. Actually, before I do, I need you to stay because the last time I said these two words on camera, at least two people closed the app. I know, and honestly, that's not cool. And that reaction is the whole point. Ready for it? Not urgent. Now, some of you just felt relief, and that's good. Some of you felt resistance. Just stay with me here. I know how it feels like. And some of you immediately thought of someone else, maybe on your team, who needs to hear this. And that right there is exactly the pattern I want to talk about today. I have been training people for over 13 years, and managers, teachers, coordinators, leaders at every level. And across all of it, one pattern showed up in every room, every role, every organization. Managers who were completely addicted to urgency, not because they were lazy, not because they were bad at their jobs, but because nobody had ever told them that urgency is a feeling. It's not a fact. Let me say that again. Urgency is a feeling. It's not a fact. Let me tell you where I learned this. When I came to the United States as a refugee at 13, I had nothing. No language, no maps, no system, nothing. Everything was urgent because everything was actually urgent. I was in survival mode, and it was appropriate at the time because I was surviving. I was in a rush. I wanted to learn the language real quickly so I could communicate and understand, and in a rush to learn the culture so I could adapt. And I was in a rush to finish high school and get into college real quickly because I wanted to become a teacher, because that was my goal. That was always the goal. And I finished high school actually a year and a half early. Urgency, when your life actually requires urgency, works. That's the thing nobody tells you. But here's what I had to unlearn years later, when I was no longer in the desert camp, no longer in the situation that needed urgency. My nervous system didn't know that. It actually kept treating regular Tuesday email as a sandstorm. It kept treating a missed deadline as a threat to my life, because that's what urgency does. When you've lived it long enough, it becomes your default setting, unfortunately. And I see it in every manager I work with. The one who says, I have to respond fast so my team, doesn't think I don't care. Ding. Or the one who says, my job is literally reactive. That's just the nature of leadership. I don't think so. The one who says, you don't know my organization. Everything really is on fire. Is it? The one who says, I'm fine with urgency. It's my team that can't handle it. Can't they? Or the one who says, I thrive under pressure. I'll be honest, that was me. But ding, no, you don't. Every single one of those sentences is urgency trying to protect itself. Here's what those 13 years of training people taught me. The managers who say they thrive under pressure, my past, me, are usually the ones creating it. They're not doing it on purpose, not maliciously, but because they never learned the difference between what actually is urgent and what just feels urgent. So urgent is someone is in danger, a threat, a decision has a real deadline with real consequence. A person needs you right now and the window closes. That's urgent. Not urgent is the rest of it. Everything else, the email that came at 9 p.m., it can wait. The Slack message that has a question mark at the end, it can wait. The meeting that got added to your calendar for quick, sync up or question, that can wait. Those tasks they can stay on your list for weeks because every week something else comes up and they all sound to be urgent. That last one, the task that keeps getting pushed, that's the one I want you to think about right now, because that task, the one that is never urgent enough to make it to the top of your list, is almost always the most important thing you're not doing. That urgent starts replacing important. So be careful every single time, unless you train yourself to see the difference between urgent and important. So this is Resilianism number 2. 2 words, not urgent. Remember that and live by it. That's it. But I want you to actually use them this week. The next time something lands in your inbox and your body goes into urgency mode, into response mode, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, is this actually urgent, or does it just feel that way? And if the answer is no, say it out loud, not urgent, and watch what happens to your afternoon. The tool to go deeper on this is inside the Resilience Lab. This week, it's free, and if you want the link to it, comment not urgent.